Hey there, this is Hugh Benjamin reporting from Cloud Connected in Pasadena, California. And today we're going to talk about the different ranking factors that are really important when you're trying to rank your website. If you're a business owner out there, I know a lot of times people will sell you on the fact that, oh, it's really simple. You can just, pay for some links or hire an SEO company. But SEO changes every single, probably 4 to 6 months on Google. Google is an ever evolving animal. And so you've got to change with the times and you've got to evolve. So I'm going to talk about some top ranking factors in 2018 and why these things are important. So number one is we're going to talk about the page level metrics when you guys are talking about the content that's on your website. Content is the videos, the writing. It has to do with articles. It has to do with your blog. And so when you guys are putting up content, I know a lot of people that are writers, like they like to write and they figure, oh, if I just write and I don't think about what I'm putting up, it's good content, so it will get us ranked. But what we do with our digital marketing agency is we actually target specific keywords that you guys want to go after when it goes to trying to rank for specific keywords. And then what we do is we measure the content and we look at the site from a metrical standpoint, because Google is metrical. Google doesn't know about a painting business. Google doesn't know about you being a naturopathic doctor. Google doesn't even know really how your business operates. What they have is what we call an algorithm. And that algorithm measures the metrics of your website compared to all the other websites based on relativeness to a search that somebody would do on Google. So there's different ranking factors that will contribute to you actually being on the first page of Google. Being on Google is like having a well-balanced meal. You have to have some, fresh vegetables and fruit. You've got to have some protein. You've got to have some vitamins wrapped in there so that you have a healthy balance of a diet. Well, Google and ranking is the same thing. So the first thing that they look at is they look at your metrics as far as page level, keyword, and content-based metrics. So they want to look at it and see, are you guys putting up frequent content? Are you relative to what you're ranking for? And I'm referring to a list that I had. The second point that they look at is how long people are engaged on your website. So it's called, the dwell time or the long click metrics, which is like the click-through rate. When people come to your site, and if you have an SEO company, great. Have us check it anyway. But you should be looking at what we call Google Analytics for your page behavior. It's the behavior metrics. When people come to your site, do they come to your site and do they go through your site and explore your site? Or do they come to your website and then they bounce off of the website onto something else? So part of having a website is keeping people engaged and clicking through your site. So click-through rate actually has a lot to do with how you rank on Google. We've had clients before where literally it wasn't about the keywords, it was more about the click-through rate and the words that were going to actually entice people to actually click through, not so much stuffing a site with keywords. So it's got to be organic. You've got to have a good click-through rate. As far as real business information, it's important to have all your local directories put in place, like Google Maps. And so Google will look at these business directories and your website click-through rate and your content. And what they're going to do is they're actually going to crawl the web for your business information to see if you have relative searching. And now what's happening right now is voice search, because there's a lot of voice searching happening within the mobile apps and also Google search. Now people have to make sure that their business is actually registered within the voice search. The other thing is the location data, as far as all your addresses being updated and accurate on Google. Any inaccuracy of local data is going to make an impact on your business coming up and being relevant versus maybe somebody else's. So that's another factor. The fourth thing is the use of responsive design. So do you have a mobile-friendly site? Does it come up, and when it's on the mobile, is it clickable? You know, when people go to the phone number, is it going to, you know, can you press it and it'll click and then call somebody? So these are things that you want to look at. If you put up a website, that's great, but there's a lot of people out there that have never checked their site on an iPad, on a tablet, on a mobile phone. You know, these are the things that are important, because right now about 75% of the people are actually on mobile phones searching. In fact, a client that I talked to a couple weeks ago said, oh my gosh, I looked at my Google Analytics and I noticed that between the tablet, the iPad, and the mobile, it's about 80% of the people are now busy, and they're going from location to location, and they're doing business on their mobile phone or their tablet, or what we call a phablet, which is like a cross between a phone and a tablet. So is it mobile phone optimized? When's the last time you checked? There's a bunch of checks that we run on Google. It's a developer tool where we can actually look at the mobile phone view, and we can look at different errors and things that need to be optimized for mobile. So you could be missing 50-60% of the business out there if your site is not mobile phone optimized. I mean, nowadays the ranking factors, they actually look at mobile phone friendly sites as far as putting people high up on the rankings. So that's mobile phone friendly. The uniqueness of content across your site is another factor. So are you just, when someone built your site, are they just copying all the descriptions on all the pages? Are they, you know, copying the same content? Did somebody throw up your site really quick and copy content from other people's website or the Google or whatever it may be? So unique content is really key, and then having it spread across your site. And again, having a good amount of content. We're talking anywhere between 600 to 1,000 words per page, especially if you're in a competitive market and you want to rank for keywords. It's important not only to optimize the content, but also the images. Is the metadata in the images optimized? What about the videos? Is there videos on the page that create that high click-through rate and build a lot of value? You know, what about the titles and the meta tags and stuff like that? So content is not just the writing, but it's the behind the scenes programming.